Welcome, and before we begin, if you haven't yet, please hit subscribe now so you don't miss more of these stories of stardom and surprise. Now, picture this: the lights dim, the stage is bathed in soft white and gold, the audience holding its breath, and then, in an instant, the little one walks out, hand in hand with Wang, and everything changes. There was an unmistakable hum of excitement before the event even began. Fans had packed the theater hours in advance, chatter rippling across rows, cameras primed, hearts pounding. Posters of Wang glowed in the foyer, banners fluttered in the hands of his loyal followers, and the air seemed to hum with expectation for what was meant to be a standard performance or appearance by the star. What nobody expected was the twist that would send the night spiraling into a moment of pure magic. When Dylan stepped on stage, dressed sharply in a suit tailored to hug his frame, a wave of applause greeted him. The house lights dimmed further, stage lights highlighting him. He gave his signature warm smile and launched into his greeting, "Good evening, everyone." But almost as soon as he spoke, a small voice piped up behind him. Confused, he glanced aside, and there she stood. A tiny figure, about 3 years old, in a pastel dress, her hair tied into pigtails, clutching one of Dylan's hands. The audience gasped. The crowd's murmur cascaded into a roar. Flashbulbs exploded throughout the theater. The moment had come. Wang's daughter, real or imagined, but present, had joined him, and the stage's center of gravity shifted entirely. From where the narrator watches, up in the booth, the host microphone muted just long enough for gasps to echo. Dylan hesitated for a heartbeat, and then, instinctively, he knelt, scooped her up, and whispered something into her ear. The little girl raised her hands, waved shyly, and then walked a few steps ahead, toward the spotlight. The audience leaned in. He straightened but stayed behind her, as if to let her lead. In that instant, she became the story. Reporters later described the scene: a father and daughter, the world pausing. Social media lit up within seconds. Video clips began circulating, the short clips already racking up millions of views. Comments flooded in: "She is so precious. Mini-star in the making. Dylan, proud dad." The hashtag Dylan and daughter trended almost immediately. Back on stage, Dylan's voice resumed, softer, quieter, allowing her presence to linger. "This is my daughter," he said, his tone a mix of warmth and awe. And then, in a spontaneous move, he invited her closer to the microphone. The audience hushed, waiting. The little girl looked up at him, then at the microphone, and with surprising confidence, she uttered a quiet hello. Even though it was faint, the hush amplified it. The crowd cheered. Dylan guided her hand to wave, and the applause cascaded again. In that moment, she became more than a celebrity child. Sitting in the wings, she was a co-star, a tiny ambassador of innocence, stealing hearts. The rest of the evening shifted. Dylan resumed his work, performances, talk, Q&A, but always with an eye on her. If she fidgeted, he steadied her; if she looked nervous, he held her; if she smiled, he beamed. The dynamic had changed. The show was now about him and her. From backstage whispers to front row reactions, security guards to camera operators, everyone felt the shift. The leading actor had become the father caring for his child in real time. Some moments felt unscripted. She tugged at his tie, pointed at a light, looked up at him and laughed. The candidness made it even more electric. As the event wound down, Dylan asked the audience, "Are you okay if she says goodnight?" A laughter wave rippled through the theater, but nods and cheers followed. The little girl stepped forward, shy but steady, and said, "Good night." Then she raised her hand in a small wave, and the applause swelled. Dylan turned, waved too, and bowed with her beside him. The finale had become theirs, not just his. In the car ride home, Dylan's driver said later, the star sat silent for a while, contemplating the night. But behind calm eyes, there was wonder. The little hand he held, the spontaneous burst of applause, the adoration for a small child who momentarily outshone him, it all left him reflective. This event sparked endless conversation. Entertainment news outlets speculated on whether this was a planned reveal of fatherhood or a surprise introduction. Social media users debated the child's age, her personality, her resemblance to Dylan. Fan accounts flooded with screen grabs. Late-night talk shows replayed the moment, dissected body language, praised the tenderness between father and child. Critics praised Dylan's handling of the moment, his composure, his respect toward his daughter, not overshadowing her but supporting her. They said he gave her a platform rather than commandeering hers. Others noted how well she carried herself, a poised, natural presence in a setting that can terrify many adults. For fans, this became a new touchstone. The night they saw a vulnerable, human side of a star. The night a child reminded us all that even in the glare of fame, family shines brighter. In the days after, interviews followed. Dylan's representatives reportedly confirmed that yes, the child was his daughter, by private arrangement, and that he had wanted to share a bit of his personal life with fans in a gentle, meaningful way. He expressed that fatherhood had changed his priorities, made him more grounded, more aware. He said he hoped that his daughter, when grown, would look back on that moment with warmth. Meanwhile, everywhere clips circulated. Media outlets ran variant headlines. Tiny Tot steals the show from that Dylan Wang father-daughter moment becomes viral sensation. How 3-year-old became the night's true star. Fans posted their own reactions, videos, memes, artistic renderings, heartfelt messages. Some even sent letters and small gifts addressed to the child as a new fan favorite. Psychologists weighed in, speaking of parasocial relationships, the power of seeing a parent in a celebrity, how humanizing celebrities by revealing family can deepen fan loyalty. Others cautioned privacy concerns, how children of celebrities may be thrust into unwanted limelight. But for that night, the consensus was admiration. And then came the fleeting echoes. Theaters buzzed about similar surprises, whether stars would follow suit. Talk turned to how stars manage private lives, whether children should be shielded from public exposure, whether social media would preserve versus exploit such moments. Looking back, the memory lingers, a stage meant for a solo performance transformed into a shared moment between father and daughter. A spotlight widened just enough to include her. A crowd thrilled not because of spectacle, but because of genuine affection. The night became more than entertainment, it became a story of love, surprise, vulnerability, and connection. So now, as the lights fade, as the microphone silence, as the audience returns to their lives with recording devices and high-resolution memories, the true afterglow remains in hearts. The story doesn't end with applause, it lives forward in thousands of share, retweets, remembrances. It echoes in conversations about what it means to be a star and a parent. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this retelling and want more compelling stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and share.